For this video, I'm going to be looking at this product, which I purchased at PetSmart back in the aquarium area. And because I've been looking at different, or looking for sources of different kinds of bacteria to add to some of these different soil mixes. And who knows, I had seen some literature said that the purple non-sulfur bacteria, Rudoseudomonas palustris and others, are sometimes used in aquariums. So I wanted to see if there was some at PetSmart. So I bought two different products. This is the first one. On the bottle, it does not specify what's in the bottle, what exactly it is. It just says it's a patented bacteria. However, you can look up the MSDS sheets, and looking that up for this product, I see basically two different ingredients. Nitrobacter winogradsky, which is interesting because a winogradsky column is one place that some people are able to get purple non-sulfural bacteria. And the other is Nitrosomus eutrophia. So these are screenshots from Wikipedia. You can look those up. When I opened the bottle, it had a pH of about 4.5. This is September. I am today recording this September 1st, 2025. The expiration on this is 12/27 of 2027. So it is well within date. So we're going to throw it under the microscope, LW Scientific, and start at about 400 magnification, go up to 600 magnification. Do we see any live bacteria whatsoever? What, if anything, do we see here? So I'm going to throw it under the microscope, and let's see what we get. So I already did this once and forgot to hit record. So I had to start all over. So we're actually at 100. We're at 100 here, just to get a rough focus. I'm going to go down to 400. And at this point, larger bacteria should be able to be seen. At least just some little specks that are moving. And I'm connected, it's a 4K camera, BioVid 4K camera. I'm going USB directly into the computer. It can do 4K HDMI out or to a SD card or thumb drive, but then I have to, I can't really talk over it at the moment. I still got to set up my HDMI direct to the computer. A couple of ways to do that. I haven't set that up yet, but this way I can at least talk as I'm recording it, and USB is usually pretty good anyway, enough for this. So let's kind of mow the lawn a little bit, just kind of look around, and I'm looking for any movement. Now there's nothing in the instructions that really talk about, the bacteria being dormant in any way and needing to be, quote, activated. Indeed, on the instructions, all it says is 1 ounce, I believe, to the gallon. And if it's a saltwater aquarium, then double that. So, and it even does say it is live bacteria. Of course, you can be alive and dormant, but there's nothing about, having to add it to the water and let it set, or add any kind of sugar source, or add anything else. Now, I'm not going to take a sample of this yet. I might try that later if somebody says it's what needs to be done, especially if they can prove it. And add a couple of drops to a little bit of water and let it sit for a while and see if it if they become active, or some kind of nitrate solution, since these are supposed to be denitrifying. So I guess that means that they eat nitrates, and nitrates being nitrogen. So I guess I could take some, couple of drops of urine or something like that. Would, maybe after peeing, who knows? Maybe after peeing, take a fresh pipette and put a few drops in a little bit of water in a test tube with some of this and see if they become alive. But what I'm checking is right out of the bottle. Now I did shake the bottle up so that, there's not any sediment at the bottom that didn't get mixed in. I took a brand new little bitty, like 2cc or 5cc or 0.2 milliliter. It's a 0.2 milliliter pipette, single-use disposable, aspirated 2 or 3 times to coat it per Elaine Ingham procedures, and put 2 drops on this slide. So we're still at 400. And even at 400, you should be able, if there's anything moving, we should be able to see it. And I'm not seeing it. I've got the room lights completely off. So the only illumination is via the lighting source from underneath. I'm going to clean off my lens, the source. Not that that should really matter, but just to make sure. No, I'm just not seeing anything moving. So I'm curious, where are these live bacteria? Not really sure what happened. Sometimes my camera the computer loses the camera and the recording ceases. But in any case, we're still at 400. And again, I'm just not seeing anything moving at all. So let's go down to 6. If we can get into focus. Now at this point, at 600 dry, we should be able to see bacteria and even be able to tell, do they look like little BBs, spheres, what's called bacilla? Do they look like little rods? Are they clumps of spheres? So strips of spheres, which would be streptococci, or, constellations of the rods or spirilla. And I'm just not seeing anything move, which if somebody has got some better information, feel free to leave it down there. Maybe send me some links or something like that. But right now, I'm seeing right out of the bottle this API QuickStart from API. Right out of the bottle in this, I'm not seeing any live bacteria, at least not any active bacteria. Does anybody else see something I'm missing? Feel free to put a comment in and a timestamp. I mean, even tap water would have more than this. I may be missing something, but we will compare this. So I'll do the next one, which is another aquarium water product, product for getting the water ready for aquariums. I believe it says it's got a little bit different ingredient. We'll see if we can find that MSDS sheet as well. And then we will compare them to actual purple non-sulfur bacteria Pseudomonas palestra, at least advertised, from a company that sells it as a soil amendment. And I expect to see quite a bit. Now, I bought some PNS, if you see one of my other videos, just off of Amazon. And it at least had stuff in it, the right color and all that kind of stuff, some clumping. Now, getting with some people that are into this a lot more than I am and know a lot more about it, the general consensus was, and what I was thinking, is it indeed is what it advertised, though at a fairly low concentration. But right now, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything move. This is about as dead a sample as I've ever seen. I don't exactly have decades of experience. Again, we're at 600 magnification dry. Oh, I do see something right there. That large clump just to the left of the kind of pointing down. Maybe it's just my eyes, but there looks like something moving, but it is so small. It is very, very, very small. Let me see if I can center that. And unfortunately, I cannot go in any. There you go. You see something moving right there? That's about the size I would expect to see a bacteria. Fairly easy to see moving. And I would expect to be seeing, a lot of that all over the place at different levels. And that is the first indication of life that I'm seeing. So make of this what you will. If somebody else has got a microscope and happens to have some of this, check yours. Tell me what you see. Um, that is the first sign of life that I have seen in this sample.